everyone else is awake for that like hour in the morning. Have you found that that's been pivotal for your growth as just an individual, personal branding, business, all of the above? And is it physical or digital?
I'm going live on YouTube right now, so I can send y'all links.
I'd say digital, yeah, because on my phone,
I can't send y'all no links on TikTok Live.
One practice that I love is going on a walk. Obviously, I talk about that a lot, but when you do go on a walk, try to jot down an idea like right as you do it, because then that gets the water flowing. That like unclogs the faucet, and then more ideas just come to mind related to that one. And then that's like my style of journaling, I guess you could say, but then that transfers over into content pretty easily. The writing process in my eyes is like, I just take ideas anytime, anywhere. It's kind of a habit to write them down, and you do have to get into that habit. If you have an idea, force yourself to write it down. And then in the morning, especially since I'm a writing-based creator, mostly it's kind of my job, I sit down and then I look at all of the ideas that I've accumulated, and then I try to create something with those. I'll take one idea, turn it into a social media post. I'll be like, oh, this one's really good. Let's draft an outline for a newsletter next week, so on and so forth. And then I'll spend a bit more time fleshing out.
Yo, Alex, damn, what's up, G?
So it's mostly digital. I consider the type of writing that I do also to be journaling, because a lot of my personal experiences are in it. So it's kind of like a holistic style of writing.
My husband used to ejaculate prematurely until this.
Bro, what the hell is going
so
on?
fast,
See, bro,
so
TikTok,
about it.
YouTube, I mean, got some problems. It was expected for them not to be ready the day of my birthday. I got a client booking a birthday photo shoot, but she doesn't want to shoot it on she wants to shoot it on the day of her birthday, which is kind of throwing me off a little bit, because if we do the shoot on the day of her birthday, she's not getting the edits back. And then she's like, it's okay, but then I feel bad because like I want to give you your what's the name? Hey yo, right? Exactly.
You just kind of like you say the same.
But it's like I want to give them. She's like, it's okay to not for them to not be done on her birthday, and I'm like,
I want to get your
yeah, but damn, like you don't want your photos done on your birthday.
How you go about repackaging your ideas, saying the same thing over and over, and being like constant with your like ideologies and what you're saying on social, but just repackaging them slightly as you continue to post more content.
Yeah, I don't really have a system for doing it. It's more so, okay, I tend to have a theme for my week, and I try to make that theme something that has the potential to get a lot of engagement, a lot of eyes, right? Because that's a big lever in anyone's business, is just eyes. So I'll have a theme. This week it's agency, and I have a newsletter around that topic. And so I've talked about agency before, so I have to kind of think, okay, what can the topic of this newsletter be that incorporates agency, but is still slightly different? Because the thing with a newsletter, why I like newsletters so much, is one, they turn into YouTube videos. So think of it, if you don't want to write a newsletter, think of it as outlining a YouTube video. It has to be a certain length, right? So you can talk about only agency, you can break down what agency is, why it's important, how to cultivate it, or you can work in various other topics that are kind of connected. So
bro, this cold is just bad. Yeah,
really
bro,
difficult.
I'm like literally still sick right now.
I watched a YouTube video the other day that was 3 hours long on the psychology of conformity. So why people conform. It goes really deep into the psychology of conformity. Now, like, this kind of lines up with agency. Why don't I talk about conformity, but package it under the agency lens that I know will work? And that, when people go through that, then they're going to get this fresh look on agency and give them a deeper understanding of it. But I could only do that because I'm exploring different interests, right? I'm pursuing my curiosity outside of my writing and then incorporating that into the ideas that work really well for me under my brand.
Yeah, I also think it goes back to what you're saying about how, like, you just gotta, like, have more experiences and, like, go out and bring stories. And if you feel like if you want to talk about something again, you can just bring in another story that you have or another lived experience. and kind of like say the same thing but slightly different. I also want to talk about
what's up, y'all?
Making money as a creator.
What's up, Groovy?
So you're someone who like infamously has created a very successful one-person business and you're making a lot of money doing it. If someone wanted to follow in those footsteps and start making either $10,000 a month or they have the goal of making, you know, $100,000 as a creator, like what pieces of advice would you have for them? Like where should they start and how do you go about monetizing as a creator?
Yeah.
Y'all can't see that thing, but I'm editing right now. Y'all can't see my
business videos are like my most
literally
popular,
editing as we
so a lot of
speak
people see those first
right
and
now.
assume like those were created like 2
But I don't have
or 3
it
years
on the
ago.
screen,
I'm no
though.
longer a one-person business,
Okay.
so I have
There we go.
2 teams
Just
for
make
2
y'all feel
different
better.
companies, and I have an editor for my own thing. So I'm technically a 2-person business under like my personal brand now. But just prefacing so people know how I would get started. I like to think of it as like a cascade of validating ideas. And this is assuming that you're starting from nothing, right? You don't know what you're going to do at all. The first thing is take your interests and just start posting on social media, right? You have to get into that habit. If you want to be a one-person business, you have to understand that you as an individual have never had as much power as you do now with technology, with the internet, with AI. You can actually build a business as one person, right? You can reach millions of people. You can create some kind of a product that can serve millions of people. That's incredible. How you start with that and the base of that, because it has to be with social media, because that's where the attention is right now. A lot of people want to get out of that, but that's where the attention is, right? You're not going to go and start a business and acquire your customers on the radio. You might, but that's kind of a stupid decision and it doesn't seem very fun. So social media, not the newspaper, not TV, social media, it's accessible. You can start today, whatever. Social media is great. Start talking about your interests. Start learning the skills necessary to succeed on social media. If you want to study something specific, I would study copywriting, marketing, sales, kind of all at the same time, because you have to be able to articulate an idea in a way that another person is going to be attracted to, right? You're not trying to sell people on a product here, you're trying to sell people on the idea, and the conversion is them clicking follow or clicking like or clicking retweet. So that's kind of what you're optimizing for when creating on social media. Now, after a month, 2 months, 3 months of doing this, you should have a base amount of followers. And from there, you can look back and see, okay, which of my ideas were best? Which ones did I enjoy writing about? Which ones could I see turning into a product or service? Then, from there, you take it and you turn it into some kind of high leverage business. For most people with a small following, I would say that that's a high ticket service. It's just common. So an agency or freelancing or coaching, even though that has a bad rap nowadays to other coaches, not really consumers. Consumers still love signing up for coaching. So one big trap there, don't get too wrapped up in what other people are in your industry are saying. Just focus on value for your audience and you'll go a long way. So some kind of high ticket service, because if you only have a certain amount of followers, selling a $50 product isn't going to take you that far unless you're extremely good at generating traffic, right? If you're getting millions upon millions of views, go low ticket product and just sell the crap out of it and you'll make a lot of money. If you are growing at a decent pace, then
what's up,
you're going
G?
to have
What
to
it
probably
is,
do some
gang?
annual outreach. You're going to have to get more strategic with your promotions, and you're going to have to sell at $1,000 to $5,000 for what it is that you're selling, because
y'all shot something today, man.
You land one customer.
What's popping? Ain't nothing popping for real. Just editing this video, trying to get it done for y'all. I got a video dropping at 6:00 p.m. So y'all should definitely tap in with that, because it's gonna drop at 6 p.m.
going
today.
Full time on this whole personal brand, social media, online business thing. After that, it's like, okay, how can I productize this further? And that can go down in kind of a cascade, because now if you have clients, you're getting results, you can flex those results, and you can turn your offer into something that can be sold to a wider audience. What I like to do personally here is turn it into some kind of a cohort-based course. So this is kind of like a hybrid between group coaching while also having a curriculum, but also only being open for a specific amount of time. That bakes in the scarcity so you don't have to fake it, right? A digital product, it's hard to say, oh, there's only 9 products, there's only 9 left, because that's just not true. But if there's an enrollment date where people can close, and scarcity is a huge part of driving some form of conversion, that's awesome. It's just baked into the model itself. So, cohort-based course, you have the option of pricing it still somewhat high. So reaching out to people, manual client outreach is still enticing to you, and you can still do it. If you're selling a $50 product, like, you're not going to want to go into the DMs or cold email people to make $50 on that. It's just not fun. But also, it's at a price range where people can join if they just
nice editing. I can edit music. You edit music.
So kind of like there. Then you have that, and then you can take it even further.
Had a one-on-one client. You're a YouTuber to I just hit 100 subs. Oh, congratulations on your 100 subs, bro. 100 is usually like the hardest to hit, and then 1,000. But I feel like your first 100 is like, it's hard to hit if you get 100 regular. If you ask a lot of friends or try to get people to subscribe like that, it's kind of like a little bit easier. But your first like actual subscribers that you get like only from like YouTube alone, and like not asking anybody to subscribe, that's like the hardest.
That's like the hardest to get. Low, right? This is where the 4-hour workday philosophy comes in, where if you
Alex, you're saying you had a one-on-one client
on high-ticket clients, then you can probably squeeze most of your lever moving tasks within 4 hours, give or take. As you get pushed to going over that 4 hours, that's when you start to think about, okay, now I need to productize. And then once you go, let's say, the cohort-based course route, that's going to take a lot of time on your hands because you're able to serve more people, but you can also take on high-ticket clients to fill up the rest of that time. Then once you surpass that 4 hours again.
Oh, you're new to the channel. What's up, G? Do you are you photography, videography, or do any form of like content creation? I feel like you do content creation if you do YouTube, so you must do content creation for sure.
Unless you want to scale those things further. Me personally, I was, for some reason, dead set on just being a one-person business.
I just got back into vlogging more often too now, man. He said, yeah, we didn't finish all his photos, but we got a lot done. See, that's good.
Business any further.
That's good.
But if you want to do that, that's perfect.
I mean, you didn't finish all of them, but you got a lot done. You getting a lot done is the good part. Like, that's the good part. You're getting a lot done.
I think that makes
Bro, I've been like thinking about on the fence about learning a new editing software lately. Like something to like, I guess, do, but also give me like something to give me to do, something to do. But at the same time, also like bettering my bettering my like my workflow, bro.
Shout out to the Stan crew. I think it's one of the best places to sell a digital product. God, go check them out. Linked in the description.
So, me and Tyler, the CEO of Beehive, came up with a little challenge for you. It's the newsletter challenge. Now, if you know me, you know that I'm a big fan of newsletters. I got my own newsletter. I also had a business that was a new.
I did a podcast with John and Vitaly.
Oh, you did?
I've been to their office in Toronto a few times. Super cool people.
We're doing the one with John right before Thanksgiving. So we're excited to talk to him. It's going to be super fun. Yeah. That's amazing. What were some of the biggest mistakes, and you go back and think about building out a digital product to save someone a little bit of a headache? I'll give you one of mine right off the bat.
I've been doing YouTube since July, so that's good.
During COVID, I sold a product that
literally just keep going.
Or need. And so I
like,
spent
bro, like you the hardest thing to do is not get discouraged, but it's so easy to get discouraged.
It was,
but if you keep going so much, you literally just you don't even have time to think about just being discouraged.
And I just did not survey enough people, and then I later on did one on sports, and it absolutely crushed. So it was more like a general videography. And I wasn't making content about it at the time. I was doing nothing. I'm like, oh yeah, I know how to do this really well. Like I should make something about it. And it sold like 10 or 20, and I'm like, this is not it. And I probably could have kept going with it and done really well, but I niched it down to sports, and it absolutely crushed. But that's So if you're thinking about building a product, you should survey people first. That'll be my one takeaway and piece of advice. But I'll let you go.
Mine would be pre-orders.
Ooh.
Where I would say depends how long you take to create the product, right? If it's like a big thing, you're gonna have.
I've been thinking about buying. I've been thinking about buying DaVinci, bro. Like actually spending money and buying DaVinci. I've been thinking about it lately, bro.
Actually, I would say do this. Start with just an ebook.
I've been thinking about it, gang.
So here's kind of the process. You're going to start with an ebook. That should take no longer than a month, right? You're not writing a full book. It's not going to be crazy edited. Just start with the ebook. A month out, just give yourself a month. Don't start writing it yet. Set a specific date a month out. You're going to build the landing page first and write the copy for it first. That way you can kind of craft how compelling or persuading it is and what's going to be inside up front. The landing page is like a persuasive summary of what it is that you're selling. Then what you need to focus on is fulfilling on that landing page. Throughout that month, you're going to practice.
If you're on TikTok and you want to see what I'm doing,
the
join.
Thing here is don't get discouraged if people don't actually buy right away, because they're less likely to buy a pre-order, and they're only going to start buying in swaths as it gets closer to that launch date. Now, that's going to be your initial like validation mechanism. So you're going to promote a lot until that launch date, and if it is not meeting your expectations a week before, like if you know that this thing just isn't going to sell, then cut it off. Refund everyone, start fresh, and then plan to do something else 2 to 3 months from now and spend a lot of time figuring out what that's going to be. If you are getting sales, great. Finish it before the launch date, put it in people's hands, and now, well, one, because of that, you're going to price it a bit lower because it's just an ebook, right? It's something that you're just trying to validate. Then from there, you get testimonials, you get customer feedback, and then you turn it into a more full-fledged course, maybe a cohort-based course, maybe something else that has videos, has expanded modules, whatever it may be. And at that time, you're going to increase the price. And you're going to treat that as a second launch date, because that creates another scarcity point where people are going to buy a lot in that week leading up to the price increase. Trust me on that. If you've never done that, it leads to a lot of sales. Now you have your course, right? If you want to expand it further, you can, but that's kind of like my thing is don't spend the 8 months thinking it's going to do well and then it flops. Just validate as early as you can by starting small, expanding from there, and giving yourself enough space to increase the value and increase the price, right? MVP first in many cases. For myself, when I started my community, that was pretty successful. Modern Mastery is closed now, but I started that at like $7 a month because I just wanted to get the first 100, 200 people in so it looked active, and I wanted to fill it up with content before I increased the price. Then when I increased the price, those $7 people wanted to maintain their price so they didn't cancel. When I increased the price, a lot more people joined because they wanted to get in at that price before. Then as more things got added to the community, I would do that every 3 to 6 months, is have like a big promotion for the price increase. A lot of people would join, and it kind of locked people in at the lower level, and if they didn't find value, they can cancel and they probably wouldn't come back anyways. But I see a lot of people, they're like, okay, I'm going to start a paid community. Boom, $99, which is fine. That's a decent price. But you're not giving yourself any wiggle room. If people don't find the value in it and someone joins at $99, then you can't decrease the price. You can't test anything else. The only way you can go in this product game is like up in price, right? If you go down, then you're doing a disservice to everyone that's bought before. So you just literally can't do that. So give yourself a lot of runway, because a lot of people are telling you to increase your prices. So people start at the high price, but they need to start low and then increase, because it's going to lead not only to a lot more sales, but a lot more loyalty, and you just feeling confident that you're providing a lot of value for the price.
Do you think a creator needs or should have something to sell from the get, or do you think it's put some time in, build an audience, and then craft your offer?
Either way, but having something to sell.
YouTube, if y'all watching, bro, join the Discord and please subscribe. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers.
And aren't paying attention.
Am I tired? Yes. Is that why I'm not talking? Yep. I'm trying to like create energy where nothing exists, but I know I gotta show up every day for myself, bro. If I don't show up every day, I'm not gonna get to my goal. So me being tired doesn't matter.
Turns against them because they're like, oh, I thought you weren't gonna sell anything. So I would say start selling from the get-go. Make that very apparent to the people that are going to follow you just by how you speak, how you promote, so on and so forth. It comes with the territory. But it also, if you don't know what to write in terms of ideas or what type of content to create, you always have a fallback. If you can always go to whatever product or service you sell, take an idea from that, and then turn that into a piece of content, and you know that it's leading directly or indirectly to more sales. So it's a very, you have that feedback.
You also brought up your newsletter, and I think you have one of the best newsletters out there. I also saw that you have like over 180,000 members in your newsletter, which is absolutely insane. Can you talk about newsletters, why they're so important, how to do them properly, and...
Listen, it's called connecting, and it's insane. I don't do schedules or timesheets manually anymore. And it works? Oh, like you wouldn't believe it. My team puts in their availability.
Why they're so important to be able to sell, because people on social media, like, they're not really in a buying state. It's really hard to kind of disrupt, especially if you're selling something high ticket. So if you could go into the importance of a newsletter and how to do it properly, I'd really appreciate it.
This can be really long, so bear with me.
Let's lock in.
Ready, dude? Get your pen and paper.
Get your notebooks out.
Yeah. Okay, why a newsletter is important. It is owned distribution. Sure, it's on a platform like Substack or Beehive or Kit, but a social media platform, you're kind of at the whim of the platform. If you get banned, you don't take your followers with you. If you get banned from a newsletter, you can download your list and you can transfer over to another platform. Second thing, it's long form. As much as people love short form and the growth and virality that comes from that, I would argue that 1,000 newsletter subscribers is more valuable than 25,000 followers on social media. Just in terms of how much they actually want to hear from you, how much they're going to buy from you because they care about you and will benefit directly from your products. And two, time under attention.
Bro, I think these photos came out so tough, bro.
You've read his book.
These photos came out so hard.
If you hear the word habits, you immediately think of James Clear. Like, he owns that word of all things because you spent time with his ideas. He wrote a best-selling book on it. A newsletter isn't a book, but it's much longer than a 60-second post on social media. It's going to be 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes of reading time. And the more newsletters you have, the more times people spend with you, and the more people are likely to, for your ideas to pop up in their head as they're going about life, and the more likely they are to trust you, which is going to be a big factor when AI starts coming even more into play, and they're going to buy from you. In terms of how to build the newsletter, I think I have a unique take on this. This ties in with sales funnels and everything else. My entire sales funnel is my newsletter.
I was like, I got nail glue. Not on me, but I have nail glue.
Of ideas and topics for people to explore. So if you think of your brand as
she broke her nail for this shoot.
Cinematic universe, Marvel has the Avengers, it has all the different comic books, it has movies, then it has action figures, which are the products, and it has various lore and other spin-off TV shows here and there. So you can think of your newsletters as your movies. You can think of your products.
Bro, I think this is gonna be a good. This is gonna be probably a really good thumbnail right here.
Social media posts.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be a good thumbnail right here.
With that gives people so much to binge watch.
Yeah, it's probably the thumbnail I'm gonna use
after the fact. With a traditional sales funnel, not that the purpose of it is education, sales, but education leads to sales. So, if I just give people this entire library of content that I build over time, takes time, then I'm much more likely to gain a lot of their trust. So that's the first thing, is it takes a lot of time and effort to build, but one newsletter, one YouTube video can be perfectly fine. The newsletter is like my highest priority. So I spend about an hour in the morning on that, and then about 2 hours like on social media content and putting that on all different platforms. But the newsletter gets turned into the outline for my YouTube script. So when I film YouTube videos, I just have the newsletter pulled up. I read a sentence, I read the section, and then I try to articulate it to the camera. And for certain ideas that I don't want to mess up, I just read it off the script, and we put a text screen or B-roll over that. Makes the editing process super simple. That also gets posted as a podcast. So if you're wondering if people will care about that, it being the same content, refer back to us talking about repeating yourself. People just like consuming in different mediums. And a lot of people are only going to consume in one medium. So it's great. Where that comes into play with being a sales funnel is that in my newsletter, it's kind of like a process for me to link my offers, usually just 2 links. So if I have a digital product, I'll include that in the middle. If I have, let's say, a service or a freelancing service, I'll link that at the bottom. It doesn't really matter where, it's wherever you can tie it in. So if I have a section that has anything to do with writing, then I'm going to link to our writer, right? And that just naturally follows into the YouTube videos, because when I look at the script, then I just say that to the camera and the link's in the description. So now I have 2 points where people are potentially going to pay me for what I do. Now, in order to grow the newsletter, a lot of people go the lead magnet route, which is great. But if your newsletters are really valuable, each one of them are a lead magnet. So now you have 2 things. You have the newsletter as a lead magnet if it's valuable, and 2, you have your offers promoted in there, so it's kind of like a indirect sales page. On social media, I've gotten bad at this recently, but in my prime, you post the newsletter once a day under a social media post. So I have this reminder in my calendar, it's at like 9 a.m., where I'll go to my Substack, first I'll look at the social media posts I had for that day. Let's say one is on the topic of focus. It's like, okay, I've written a bunch of newsletters on focus. Let's go find one. Go to my Substack, scroll down, find one about focus, reply to that tweet and be like, if you want to read more, go here, link it, boom.
You love building high-performing websites, but you don't love having to chase clients down for content, coding plugins, or endlessly switching between tools. What if you could work without the grind? With Duda's AI stack, you can. Upload your client brief to generate a personalized website. Then, share that site with your client without ever leaving the platform. Elevate it by generating custom functionality on the fly. No heavy coding or plugins necessary. Instead of busy work, now you can just skip to the good part. Finally, AI where you want it, when you need it, every step of the way. From SEO to full site generation.
I just sent a lead to the chat for if you're in New York, you can get that. You can take that booking. I'm about to let them know that I just sent people their way.
Would you be happy if you stayed where you are in life and job forever? If the answer is yes, then this video is not for you. But if you want to finally achieve the time, location, and financial freedom you know you deserve, then this new career may be the answer to all your prayers. Because what I'm about to reveal to you is unlike anything you've ever seen before. It pays extremely well. It's flexible with hours and location. You don't need a
Okay, no
degree,
problem.
and
I
here's
just
the
sent
craziest
them
part.
your way.
You can earn while you learn and still have enough time to juggle your current job, responsibilities, and even family. So here's what I'm talking about. I'm David Bragg, founder of Front End Simplified. We help people like you.
Okay, no problem. I just sent a few different people your way.
Without needing a degree or previous experience. The tech industry is already one of the biggest ones in the world, yet it's still expanding by 20%.
My videos
year
drops
over year.
in a
And
few
global
minutes, you
companies
guys,
with the
on
budget
YouTube.
to pay high salaries are desperate right now to find talent. Why, you may ask? The reason is simple. With more and more apps being developed and everything going online, these companies need people to build and support their new features and softwares. And the problem, there's just not
what's up, G?
out there to pull from.
What's up, y'all?
Probably because they think coding is
got a
too
jet
hard,
finna drive.
they
Thanks for the
think it
stream.
takes
All right,
too
bro.
long
See you
to
later.
learn, or maybe they don't even know this career exists. That's why this...
They connect to one another. People go to that. People read it. They're very likely to subscribe if they liked it. So that's how I gain newsletter subscribers. And they see my products or service. So they're somewhat likely to buy as well. And since they're on the newsletter now, they're going to get the other ones, and they're going to be, quote unquote, remarketed to because my products or services are going to be in there. So now for my entire sales funnel, all I really have to do is stay consistent with content. I have to post on short form social media. I have to write my newsletter once a week. I have to create the YouTube video and link everything in the description from products to newsletters. And then once a day, I need to paste a relevant newsletter to the topic I was talking about on social media that week. And that's kind of it.
I love it. I love it. Selfishly, what platform are you using for the newsletter? Is it Substack? And it's free, correct?
Yeah, Substack.
And can you do the tagging and whatnot? Like if you had a list that was like, oh, someone got it.
I have a Canon T8i. What should I upgrade to for photography? A R8, like another Canon, like an R8 RP. I say a Canon RP or a Canon R flat, like it's like a Canon R. But RP is solid. R8 is solid. Yeah, definitely. If you want to stay in the Canon line, definitely. Damn, Casper, you just scared me.
But they don't allow the automation.
But yeah, y'all, my lats hurt like crazy.
If you want to do that. But for my quote-unquote content ecosystem, since I'm not really focused on the automations, it's more so what I just went over, then yeah, it makes a lot of sense for me.
Yeah, I feel like you're at a benefit, though, being a writer, like, because your newsletters are long, and I feel like most people... There's people that are doing it shitty, like they just get your email and like every time their newsletter, it's just like,
hey, buy it.
A couple sentences and then they fucking link it. They're not actually providing any value, but I think if you really do take the extra time and effort to think of the newsletter as like a separate piece of content that you can then repurpose into other pieces of content, but like the fact that it's your highest priority, like it allows you to repurpose that content and have it be an actual piece of content as opposed to just like, I'm getting another fucking email from so-and-so trying to sell me something.
Yeah, people look forward to it. But you can't force it to be long. It's really hard to force it to be long. Like when I'm outlining it, sometimes it'll be 2,000 words, which is still long for a newsletter. Sometimes it'll be like 5,000, 6,000. Just because like I have a lot to write about that thing, like ideas just start coming to mind, and like I'm not gonna stop myself from writing about it if it just comes out. So the magic of newsletters is in the outline. Absolutely, it's one, the topic or title, same with YouTube, but also writing an outline at the start of the week. Right, I usually don't just go straight into writing the actual newsletter like stream of consciousness. I'll outline 5 bullet points, and then as I go on my walks, as I listen to other things, that kind of becomes a magnet for ideas, where I don't know if you've experienced this, it's kind of just how the brain works. When you have a goal or a project, you tend to notice things that help you do that thing well, where like if you have an idea to start a business and you're in a conversation with a buddy, the thing that is going to stick out to you most in that conversation is the idea that's going to help fuel your business. And then you tend to write that down. You're like, oh, that was perfect. And then you go and implement it. So I kind of fabricate that process by having the newsletter outline.
What if I could build an app that works my way with Base 44? My work moves fast. My tasks, priorities, and deadlines change every day. But today, I can finally build an app that adapts to me, tailored to my workflows, data, and my team's needs. Every challenge is unique. I want a tool that brings together calculations, automations, insights, all of it into one clear view, accessible exactly where I need it. What else can I add? I set an AI partner that understands how we operate, generating content that sounds like me. handling routine tasks to my standards. So my work gets smarter, not just faster. All about my way. My metrics clear, my processes managed, my data secured. Because in the end, it's not about using software. It's about building the system that will take us forward. Base 44, build it your way.
I ordered 200 hand-forged knives to my dorm room and built a Wix website to sell them. I'm Noah Rosen, founder and owner of Forged to Table Knives. Starting as a dishwasher and working my way up through the culinary industry, I knew a lot of people that would love an affordable handcrafted knife, so I saw the opportunity and built my own online empire. When someone first gets to forgetotable.com, we want them to have a curated shopping experience.
So that whenever I'm listening to something, having a conversation, it's like, ooh, that idea definitely isn't the topic I was writing about, but it's a really good idea and I could tie it in. So with my newsletters, I really focus on idea density. That's like how I grade my own content in general, is how many dense good ideas.
When this new video drop, I'm getting off live because I want you to watch it.
My best newsletters are usually,
so I'm gonna chat.
I don't sit down and write them all at once. It's like I have one idea, I plop that in somehow in the newsletter, and then I expand on it a bit, and then the same thing happens over and over. So the newsletter kind of writes itself when I really focus on the outline for that week, because I'm just pulling a bunch of these ideas together like Legos to create something very unique that people aren't expecting. But I title it as something that could potentially go viral, right? So it's like, it's not clickbait, it's legit bait because I am delivering on the promise, but definitely baiting to get into that broad audience. But people like it because I'm exposing them to something new. They learn something new and they're like, oh, I never thought about it that way. So that's the newsletter.
We need more legit bait on social media.
I was gonna say, I've never heard legit bait.
Put that in the comment right now, some legit bait that you've seen this week. You have a ton of great ideas. It sounds like, I mean, you're pulling them from books, you're pulling them from different
man,
you're seeing in different places, whether it be a newsletter that you also read, Twitter and whatnot. I think creators also believe that they need more ideas. You've said this many a times that you think they actually need better filters. But what does that mean in practicality? What does it mean to have better filters for your ideas, and how can someone implement that?
Yeah, that's kind of like the newsletter or the project or whatever it is. If social media or writing content is your filter, then you're just going to notice a lot of things that may go viral, which may work. But the more unique you try to make your newsletters, or the businesses you're working on, the products you're building, that's kind of your filter for learning. For those that struggle to come up with ideas, it can go either way. The solution is either to just overwhelm yourself with more good ideas until one sticks out, or to just cut yourself off. Do like a small scale dopamine detox for 3 days. Just be okay with boredom and let your mind get back to its natural state of having those great ideas. And with that, during that boredom, try to implement some reflection, right, on your past experiences, because the best ideas are just ones that you can pull out of everyday moments. Like right now, this is really the skill of becoming a content creator, is can you pull an insight or a great idea out of this moment that you're in right now? Like there's probably something within the last 5 minutes that we could take and turn into something that would go viral. A lot of people don't think that's possible in their day-to-day life because they think it's just boring. But if you really think about it, there's something that you can observe. There's something you can look into that sparks one idea. Like if I have a tripod sitting over there. If I look at that and I just start questioning, how was that made? Why was it made? Who made it? What's the manufacturing process? Does a camera go on that? Yes, obviously. Okay, how is the camera made? Who uses the camera? What are they filming with the camera? Like you just continue going down these rabbit holes of questions. You pick anything as your starting point, your phone, the screen, the leaf outside, whatever it is, you'll come across something that can turn into content. So it's really about thinking, right? And a lot of people don't do that very deeply today because they tend to get distracted before they can reach the next question.
Brother, I've been hijacked by this thing right here. Okay, I was just on a hunting trip for 5 days in the Idaho wilderness, and obviously no phones. I'm just sitting in a hole for like 12 hours one of these days, and I had a journal, and man, I've never filled more pages in that damn journal because I was so bored. I was like, this is so boring. The elk are asleep. Like, what the heck is going on? And
50 pages.
I'm
so bored.
yeah, just see how many times you write it.
I'm cold.
No, but I felt like I had so many great ideas, and I feel like I came out of it so rejuvenated and really just rethinking how hijacked my attention was from the moment I woke up to the moment I went to bed. And I have started this last week, and I'm so guilty of this. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I fucking check my phone in the morning. I wake up and I fucking scroll, dude. I scroll.
You too?
Dude, I scroll.
I fall in and out of it. Yeah.
God damn it.
Makes me feel a lot better.
Fuck you.
We're not alone.
Yeah, we're not alone. Okay, I thought you were trying to say
No.
Anyways, the last week I consciously have picked up the death machine and set it back down. And I'm like, you're my bitch. I fucking got you this week. And it's been a process, but it's crazy because I really want you all to think about this. When you wake up, I mean, dude, it's like there's a magnet on my hand to grab the phone. And it's crazy.
If your friend has ADHD, this is the gift you're looking for. Quick reminder, the best gifts aren't big or fancy. They're the ones that actually get used. So instead of something they'll smile at once and forget, get them something that makes everyday life feel easier, like Loop earplugs. Loop earplugs aren't a special occasions only thing. They just become part of the day, on the bus, at work, at a cafe, studying, or when they need a little breather. They simply filter out the noise that overwhelms them. It's the gift that doesn't end up in a drawer. They'll actually use and love it. So if you want the best gift of the year, this is the one. Trust me.
Excuse me.
Instead of a clunky URL, I can create a branded
I think I should throw
short
music on
link
here,
with
bro.
a custom domain that looks professional, builds trust, and improves click-through
Mike,
rates.
should I throw
But here's
music
the most
on here?
powerful part, is that every link and QR code I create comes with a Bitly Analytics dashboard. I can see exactly...
Immediately, Instagram, cheap dopamine. It's the first thing I go to. It's our YouTube analytics. How many subscribers did we get overnight?
Yeah.
What is this at? What did the last video do? What are we at in the last hour? It's ridiculous. Instead, for the last 4 or 5 days, and I'm new to this. Okay, I'm gonna mess this up in the next few days, but I'm telling you guys what it's worth.
A couple days left.
To make this a 7-day sprint. To wake up and just like pop out and look at my plants. Be like, holy shit. Okay,
Oh, I'm about to end the live so y'all can go watch the video. Go watch the premiere. I'm about to join in on premiere. Go watch the premiere. Go watch the premiere. The premiere's on YouTube. Go premiere on YouTube. Go watch the premiere. Go watch the premiere. I'm about to go over there so I can text and chat.
Talking about how you're thinking about these different
I'm about to go over
topics,
there.
and you can look at it and you
Let's
ask
go
all
hop in
these
the
different
premiere.
questions.
Hop in the
What is
premiere.
something that you've noticed about the content that does go viral? I've studied your posts over the last month as we were thinking about even having this conversation, and I've